Hey, it's Rodney, starting out silent. Thank you for being with me today. It's Friday. It is 60 something degrees. The time or the temperature just left my computer. It said, "Screw you. You're not going to read me to the people," which is fine, Mr. Weather. I don't need you anyway. All I know is tonight it's going to be 38 degrees, and I'm supposed to be watching Pole Express out in the park. I have no kids with me and my wife, and we're gonna watch the Christmas tree get lit and set in 38 degrees and watch Polar Express out in the park. Deck the halls. So that should be fun. And I know I'm crying, and people are like, 38 degrees, you're crying about that. Listen. I dealt with the winter times. I grew up in Iowa, snow, cold. I know you guys just got plummet with snow and cold, but 38 degrees is chilly looking at Polar Express. So we'll see how long that lasts. If hot chocolate could mask the coldness. And we left off with the basically, what was going to happen. And I made it sound like I was going to the hospital, which I did. I went to the hospital. It wasn't for COVID, though. I went to the hospital November 1st, 2019 for another infusion. And I told you about the infusions. And this is where basically I sit in a chair, they get the bag that's filled up with steroids, and they just pump a massive amount of steroids into me to cure any rejection. I don't know if it cures it, but at least to prevent any rejection in my kidney. Um, it's quite the task. I feel like I've told you, like I can feel it pumping through my veins. At least it feels that way. I get hot and sweaty sometimes. My skin feel like it gets oily. I get this burst of energy like the Incredible Hulk. Also, I get a little more irritable like the Incredible Hulk as well. It's not the worst feeling, but it's not the most pleasant. And I feel like everything is heightened. I feel like everything, like all my senses, is like tenfold. Like I can hear a pin drop from a distance. So it's kind of a weird feeling. So that's what happened then. So I had to go in right to the hospital for that, and that was still during COVID. So you needed to mask up and make sure that you don't get COVID while you're getting treatment too. It was just an eerie feeling to walk in the hospital, knowing that you need a procedure and hoping that you don't get sick. Crazy feeling. Then that same year, 2019, I had to go back in and get a biopsy done. And that was on November 22nd to make sure that the steroids are working and that you no longer have any symptoms of the rejection. And for me, rejection, I think, would look like having more scar tissue, right? Because I had the FSGS, which means partial scarring of the kidney or scarring of the kidney. And that's what I had. And then everything was quiet for a while. I mean, I didn't have anything major at the time, but all those procedures just requires you to go into like what felt to be a death trap at the time. And remember, we're basically bunkering up and keeping clean, trying to avoid those situations. So now I had to find myself in those situations, and I didn't have the job still. I think by this time I wasn't even working to get anything set. I think everything was on freeze, so not even worried about a job at this moment. I was still on SSDI, getting those benefits as well. So it really is quite quiet at this time. Just still trying to prevent everything from happening. And, I really don't have a whole lot to chat about regarding, the kidneys this week. It's just continue doing biopsies and infusions. And I had another infusion, just to let you know, it was on April 16th of 2020. So then we look into June of 2024, or sorry, 24. No. 2020 at that time. There was another infusion that happened. So you can see I was having all these infusions to prevent any cases of rejection. And a lot of times you think you get the kidney and that's it. But that kidney is still trying to figure out what body it's in. And then no, it's not in this body. And you're trying to give it drugs to conform. And it's like, I'm not conforming. So just pump me up with more steroids so I could look like a brown, incredible Hulk. Now, I do want to share with you that I have started doing a newsletter, and it's on my LinkedIn page. And let me give you the LinkedIn page. That's linkedin.com/n/Rodney G Washington /. So that is the LinkedIn page. And this one is the December newsletter. I'm doing once a month. And this one is navigating the season of uncertainty and chaos. And that's just a quick, like, I had a thought, right? So many things now we're talking about uncertainty in the readings. Everything's uncertainty. So I was like, is there such thing of knowing of things that are certain and how to navigate those? And really just kind of doing like a quick research, like there's not really anything that's certain except the old adage of death and taxes. However, I kind of do an example of if you know that you have somebody coming over for the holidays, and that same person will say if it's your uncle, and you got this drunken uncle that comes over and he's like, "What's up? How you doing? Watch out now. Let me go grab you here and go touch you." And he's touching your best friend and trying to date her. And he's done that 4 times out of 5 times, or 4 years out of 5 years. You know that uncle may be liable to do it again. So I said, well, it's not certain because he may not do it this year, but the probability of it is very close to being certain, that he may go ahead and get a little tipsy and want to start getting touchy-feely under the mistletoe. And so I talk about how to kind of alleviate those problems if you think about it from a evidence-based perspective. Like you have your evidence, you have 4 years that, and I go, Uncle Rick is touchy-feely after he gets a little drunk. So what can you do to prevent Uncle Rick from getting touchy-feely, right? So I give like some examples in there, and I even make a quote from like an evidence-based standpoint. Just one of those thoughts to put in place. So you can find that on that LinkedIn website. And also go ahead and just reach out, say hello to me. And that is through the scarnotsilent@gmail.com. And that's how you could get a hold of me, reach me. I have some, like, this world's so crazy, right? Because I get some offers of like such and such wants to be on your show, and they're somebody that's supposed to have research and have experience in this, and it's a third party trying to get them set up on my show. But I'm always afraid to reach out because it might be some hacker or something like that trying to get money out of me. So I'm like, I'll leave that alone. So I might have to touching out and figuring out what we're going to do with that in the future. So, but if you just want to reach out and say hello or got ideas for the show or whatever, go ahead and reach me at that email and let me know. And that'll be cool. So I'm going to go ahead and leave you. I know this wasn't the most exciting episode, but sometimes it's not exciting. Sometimes, and when I'm talking about my life is not the most exciting. The most exciting things is the kidney stuff. And right now we're just kind of slow down, but it's going to pick back up. It gets picked up. It's not as picked up as getting probed and stuck and prodded, but it picks up. That's for sure. Well, I want to go ahead and thank you for being here. And hopefully, if I could pass the Arctic breeze tonight, I'll be able to see you on Monday. And if I do see you on Monday, well, I must have a purpose because I woke up, right? All right. You have a good day.